You are 18. The uniform doesn't fit. You don't know what to do with your hands. Not a passenger car, a cattle car, 100 men, 3 days, nowhere to sit. You march. The boots eat your feet alive. Nobody cares. You look down into the trench for the first time. A sergeant screams. You climb in. The water is knee-deep, brown, cold. Other men wade past, like this is normal. A rat the size of a cat, sitting on the sandbag, right in front of your face. Nobody even looks. Sleep happens in pieces. The candle burns low, 2 hours. Then they wake you. Stand to, you grab your rifle before you're awake. Nothing comes. Just mud. Wire. Silence. The silence is worse than the noise. The biscuit breaks your tooth. The canned beef tastes like metal. It's raining. Your feet are pale and swollen. The medic wraps them. Other men walk past without looking. Your first shell. You squeeze your eyes shut. Mud rains down on you. A dark stain on the duckboards where a man was standing. His helmet still there. A letter from home, muddy at the edges. The candle is warm. Everyone else is sleeping. 3 months. The helmet fits now. The rifle held correctly. That scared kid is gone. 1 stripe on your sleeve. The smallest possible authority in the biggest possible war. Dawn stand to. 1 boot on the fire step. This is normal life now. You scan the wasteland. Nothing. Your hand grips the parapet. The lice never stop. The itching never stops. Nothing stops it. Trench fever. You can't move. Men step over you without stopping. Incoming. You're flat on the floor before you decide to move. He's dead. His helmet beside him. Nobody stops. You kneel. You don't touch anything. 2 hours alone in the dark. Orange flickers on the horizon. You don't move. The orders are for a major assault. The paper shakes in your hands. You write a letter home. You are very good at lying now. The stare. Rifle across your knees. You're not seeing any of it. 1 stripe. 4 men looking at you, deciding if you're worth following. Night raid. Hand signal to the men behind you. Down. Quiet. Wait. No man's land. On your belly. No helmet. Just mud and darkness. A flare shoots up. White light floods everything. You press yourself into the mud. Gas, yellow-green. Your hands shake, pulling the mask out. You sit with your hands in front of you. You look at them for a long time. A death from home. You read the letter twice by candlelight. 2 new soldiers watch you clean the rifle. You were them 8 months ago. Dawn stand to. You can tell outgoing from incoming now. You've learned this language. 2 stripes. Something changed that cannot change back. 1 rust spot on 1 rifle. Your section, your standards. 100 looks through the periscope. Your posture is easy now. The officer's plan will get people killed. You cross your arms and say nothing. Wire cutters, mud on your face. 1 wrong sound, and it ends right here. 2 of you in the crater. He is unarmed. You hold a bayonet. A decision that cannot be undone. His photograph on the duckboards. A girl smiling. You can't look at it. You can't leave it. Morning briefing. Flat voice. They see someone who has changed. The photograph is in your pocket. You look at the horizon. The 2 stripes weren't enough for what they cost. 1 candle. A stub of pencil. There is no honest version of this letter. Extra ammunition. Eye contact with each man. The assault is at dawn. You shout go, and you start to climb. 3 stripes. 200 men. All of it sitting on your back. The officer's plan will kill them. You calculate the dead. He doesn't notice. Hand signals. Quiet words. The men follow. The officer sees nothing. You stand in the open dirt. Kicks up around you. You will not take cover until he moves. 1 second kneeling. 1 hand on his shoulder. Then you stand up and give them nothing. Rum rations. Not too much. Just enough. The only warmth this morning. He fell asleep on sentry duty. He's 17. You know the rules. Your face an inch from his. A fury delivered at a whisper. Terror instead of a court-martial. The attack order. Tomorrow morning, you count the dead before it happens. 1 sentence to each man in the dark. Not a speech, just 1 sentence. Each man seen. The sergeant drops mid-sentence. You're already turning to take command. Grief and duty. Duty wins. 200 men. Their weight is behind your eyes. The captain speaks. You nod. You're already rewriting his order in your head. A name called out. A face lights up. Some letters in the sack are for men already dead. You hold those separately. Rum ledger. Bottles counted. The arithmetic of fairness in a place that has none. The accused soldier stands at attention. The charge sheet is in your hand. A list of names. One finger down each one. You close the ledger. You sit in silence. Shells falling. You stand at the junction and direct the chaos. You are the fixed point. Men as percentages. You read it twice. You fold it. You put it away. Your uniform is cleaner than theirs. They know you'll leave. They'll stay. The trench stretches in both directions. The veterans watch you arrive, deciding. The map and the ground don't match. The sergeant expected this. The buttons are painted over. At school, they meant authority. Out here, they mean target. 20 men watching, you give your first order. Your voice is steady. The trench shakes. Dirt falls. You keep your face neutral. They're watching you. The phone order makes no sense. You feel the gap between here and headquarters as a physical thing. You search for words that are not lies. There are none. You count the faces, you count the gaps. 3 weeks into 6. 1 pip becomes 2. The countdown has reset. You've outlived the statistics. Command has settled into you like a chair worn to your shape. 4 names. You look at the platoon. They don't know yet. 1 man came back, wounded. You hear his report and lock it away. The men rest around you. You stare at the trench wall, reciting names you can't stop. 2 streams of men in the dark, not one sound above a whisper. Acceptable losses, clean language. You set it down. You sit in silence. The objectives are impossible. You say nothing. There is nothing to say. You go first. Lieutenants go first. 3 pips. You know exactly what this costs. Map in the mud. A stick pointing. They listen like their lives depend on it, because they do. Clean water, counted out here. It matters more than ammunition. You won't leave without what your company needs. The quartermaster finds the path of least resistance, a stack of letters, each one a lie made from truth. Shell shock. You listen. You know what comes next. You hate what comes next. Lives against information. You work out the exchange rate. The candle is almost out. The mug is not tea. The faces are in the angle of your posture. Gas warning, mask half on, orders going down the trench. Every second counts. The gaps in the ranks. You look at each face without lingering, storing them. A proper desk, neat stacks. Artillery audible but distant, the middle world. Grid references, coordinates. If these are wrong, men die from friendly fire. The language is clinical. The report lies. You read it knowing that. Your report will do the same. Unrealistic timelines from someone who has never been near the front. Small flags on a map, each one hundreds of men. The abstraction begins. Late at night, whiskey, artillery outside. The silence between things. Acceptable attrition, expected casualties. You write this as though it is normal. Your uniform is cleaner than theirs. They know you'll leave. They'll stay. Promotion, more distance. More responsibility for sending others forward. Iron discipline. Maps on the table. The twitch beginning. The order is impossible. You read it twice. You start drafting an objection that will be overruled. Confirmed. The attack proceeds. The composure costs more than it used to. Map table. Pointer. Clinical language. Nobody invited to comment. 40%. You grip the paper tighter than necessary. Then set it down. Turn to the window. Whiskey flask, electric lamp, very still, very upright. The eye twitches. The operation did not achieve its objectives. You write this about men you knew by name. A chateau conference table, clean uniforms, language completely divorced from mud and blood. The general asks his question. You answer. The eye twitches once, twice, stops. He makes a note. The twitch is gone, suppressed, at a cost that doesn't show papers in neat stacks. Monthly casualty table. You process it with the same face you'd use for any document. Wall map. Polished wooden pointer. Absolute authority in this room. 11 p.m. Alone. Not for warmth. Not for pleasure. For silence. The glass stops halfway. A memory. You sit very still. Regrettable but necessary. A brief flash of something. Then the next paper. The runner's face reminds you of someone. 1 second too long. Then a nod. The door closes. The ceremony is clean and distant from everything that made this rank possible. The chateau, the map table, the rectangles, the chandelier. A blue rectangle moves 3 centimeters. Lives you will never see. The battalion commander describes mud and wire. You process it as a logistics problem. The trench has been cleaned for your visit. You see what was prepared for you to see. He reads from a prepared statement. You nod. The reality is in what he chose not to say. An acceptable exchange of lives for ground. You approve. The ground looks the same as before. Shirt sleeves. The rectangles still on the map. One hand near but not touching a blue rectangle. The chateau mirror. The same round white head. The eyes carrying everything since 1914. An old lance corporal stripe beside your general's cap. The distance between these two objects is the whole story. The telegram arrives. The room moves around you. Not triumph, not relief, something emptier than both. Celebration dinner. Officers laughing. You are present in body only. The parade, the crowd cheers. Your eyes are fixed on nothing. Just the eyes. Everything from the railway platform held in 2 flat dots. A recruiting poster on a brick wall. Civilian clothes. You are not yet any of the things you're about to become. A doctor measures you. The processing of human beings into soldiers has begun. Prone in the mud at the training range, an NCO corrects your aim. Still England. France is a dark line on the horizon. The point of no return. He writes a letter home. What he writes is not true. You give him a moment. 2 aircraft dogfighting above the trench. The war happening in 3 dimensions while you stand in your ditch. Calm hands on the field dressing. He looks at you with complete trust. An 18-pounder field gun, the scale of the machine against the men standing beside it. Sandbags, endless. If this isn't done right, someone will die because of it. You press against the wall and let the stretchers through, cataloging each face. He can't stop shaking. He can't respond. You know what you're seeing. A letter for a man dead 3 weeks. From his mother, heavier than paper. The map is wrong. The trench isn't here. A decision must be made in the dark. First week as an officer. The notebook is the only way to process it. Hot food reached the front line still warm. The closest thing to relief you let yourself show. A French village behind the lines. Civilian life happening. You cannot integrate these 2 realities existing 5 miles apart. Trench foot. Skin infections. You pushed them hard because the war required it. You know that. Gas cloud drifting toward the trench. One soldier struggling with his mask straps. You stop and fix it yourself. Thousands of men switching positions in total darkness. One wrong sound alerts the Germans. You manage every detail. Every number on that chart is a human being. And in this room, they are not. Military tribunal. Clipped official voice. The eye twitch suppressed. The language completely different from what you know happened. New replacements filing in. Their face is the same face you wore at the railway platform in 1914. Crystal glasses, white tablecloth, formal dinner, men dying 5 miles away. Failures become learning opportunities. Catastrophic losses become acceptable operational costs. Your pen keeps moving. Arrows on the map. An offensive. You trace the axis of advance. You nod. The offensive has stalled. Casualties extreme. You take the report with the flat authority of a man for whom bad news is just information. Same calm, flat voice. Same map table. The mechanism of command continues regardless. The chateau window. French countryside. The distant smoke of the front. A rare moment of just standing. Reed on the left. Terrified. Ill-fitting uniform. Wide eyes. Holt on the right. Immaculate. Cold. Composed. The same round white head. The entire story in one frame. An old muddy boot on the chateau desk, too large, the kind that caused blisters on a march in 1914. It should not exist in this room, but it does. Just the eyes, close up, everything accumulated, perfectly flat, carrying everything. One afternoon where nothing is happening, you rest your arms on the parapet, something almost like peace. You stand in the rain and don't move. Don't seek cover. Just absorb it. The rain is the least of what this war has put on you. The sergeant shows you how to read a compass. You are grateful in a way you cannot officially express. A package from home. You watch a soldier's face transform when he opens it. Something briefly warm in you. Then it closes back down. 48 hours of rest behind the lines. You sit in actual sunlight. You don't know what to do when nothing is required of you. A column of men marches past the window toward the front. You watch with the guilt of someone who no longer walks that direction. An impossible timetable. A staff officer who has never seen the front. The eye twitch appears. A firing squad in the courtyard below. You sign the order that made this possible. You watch the consequence of your signature. The official portrait sitting. This is the image history will keep. The version without the whiskey and the twitch, and the German soldier's photograph. The day after the armistice, an empty trench. Silent for the first time in 4 years, the silence louder than the artillery ever was. One hand pressed flat against the cold mud of the empty trench, feeling what is there. A French train station, the war over, you move through the crowd as you have moved through everything. A fixed point in the flow, an English railway platform. Civilians celebrating. You stand still while it moves around you. The same platform energy as 1914, completely different now. An ordinary English room, wallpaper, fireplace. No artillery, no maps, no field telephones. The silence of an English evening which is nothing like the silence of the empty trench. A civilian desk, a civilian lamp, writing